Hello YouTubers, and in today's episode I'm going to show you how to build the popular ZEsarUX for macOS Silicon on ARC64. What do I mean by this? Well, at the moment you need Rosetta 2 to run the official versions, and there isn't a direct one for ARM64 that I'm currently aware of today. That may change, but hopefully I'm going to guide you through this process. I'm using macOS 15.5. It's a clean and fresh installation. So first things first, we need to cover off some prerequisites before we install this the source code here. I'm going to ask you, if you haven't already, set an alias called ll equal to ls-al. Why? It's just quicker than typing ls-al for a full listing. You can just type ll instead. We need a very popular package manager called Homebrew, and we just go over to brew.sh, copy the string here and paste it. You'll need your admin password, but it will take a few moments to download and install. I'll speed this part of the video up. Once Homebrew is finished doing its thing, you'll need to copy these 3 lines here and paste it back into the command line. This will make sure that you can your environment is configured for Homebrew every time you start a new session. If you want to check that it's correctly configured, just type in brew doctor, and our system is now ready to brew, as you can see here. And then you can do, for any packages you have installed, brew update. There won't be anything today because we've downloaded the latest version, followed by brew upgrade if there is anything that needs to be installed. And the final check is brew config, and we're checking the prefix, make sure that it's in /opt homebrew. So next up, we need to install some packages. And we're going to do that by brew install SDL2 libsndfile and pkg-config. Okay, those are now installed, so we now need to clone the repository. Since we start the terminal in our home area, we're going to make a directory called tools, but you can call it anything you like. We're going to cd change directory in here, and then we need to git clone the ZEsarUX repository. So the GitHub repo is here, but you can Google search GitHub ZEsarUX and you should end up with the correct repository here, Cesar Hernandez, who's done a pretty good job of this emulator really. To make life easy, just click on code and then copy this string here, copy URL to clipboard, and then we can type in git clone and then the string that we just copied. This will download the latest version, and if we look in our directory, we've now got a folder or directory called ZEsarUX. We'll move into here, change directory, and there we'll find the source code. Everything that you need to build it. Now you might be tempted. There's even he's even added a Docker configuration file for this as well. Okay, you could try and go with make, but we're not set up for our architecture. So we need to do a few things before we run the configuration. So export package_config_path equals /opt opt homebrew lib pkg-config. C flags equal to minus architecture ARM64 minus I slash opt slash homebrew slash include minus I to include slash opt slash homebrew homebrew slash include slash SDL2 minus D thread safe. And then export D flags equal minus arch ARM64 minus L slash opt slash homebrew slash lib, and then minus L SDL2 and minus L sound file. I'm hoping this will capture everything. So remember, you need to export these, and I'll provide this in my blog over at monkeypaws.com in case you need them. Probably in the YouTube video as well, to be fair. We're now going to run configure. We want to check the output. And if all goes well, we want to do make clean, followed by make -j dollar syscontrol can't type today -n hardware logical CPU. Fingers crossed. Damn it! So we have an error. Let's check the flags again. So let's have a look. Package config, opt homebrew lib package config. Yep. Let's have a look at C flags. Minus arch ARM64 minus I opt homebrew include minus I opt homebrew include SDL, and then LD flags. Export LD flags equals minus arch ARM64 minus L slash opt slash homebrew slash lib. Missed a very important command there. It's not D flags, it was anyway. Here we go. Dot configure to update the make files, and then we should just make clean and then run the make file again. And there we go. So yeah, pay attention to export flags, but here we go. Its compilation is finished. You can now run it by typing .ZEsarUX. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over to itch.io. We're going to look for a rather excellent game that was released recently called Hair Trigger. Here it is, it's a Cybernoid-style action shooter, and I'm going to download it here. So yep, support the developer, Lee Stevenson Chops, I think. So chops.itch.io hair trigger, and then let's have a look where that starts. So we've got that in downloads. Let's move back to our storage. So we're going to go to downloads. There we've got hair trigger. And there you have it, folks. Part 1 of getting ZEsarUX running on macOS without Rosetta 2 on ARM64. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll produce a separate video on how to package this up into a .app file and to a DMG for distribution. Stay tuned.